Start it up, Christopher. Welcome back to the by far the most heated episode of the Three Amigos podcast that we might have. Both boys are wearing, no, you're wearing number 11. My bad. You're wearing number 4 because you look like you're wearing a Michigan jersey because
Rose Bowl.
unfortunate events have happened this week for your Detroit Lions, and a miracle events have happened for the Cowboys. I think you boys need to just settle your beef and get into it right now.
First of all, it doesn't matter if the Lions
let you finish.
Yeah, no, because I'm so heated. But it would have mattered if the Lions officially won that game or not. I'd be sitting here in my Michigan jersey after that beautiful Rose Bowl victory. But going in to the Lions Cowboys game, fuck Brad Allen. Fuck his idiot refs. They should not be in the NFL. I want them fired yesterday. Get them out of here. They're a clown show. They've ruined 4 games already this season. Brad Allen has been suspended when he reffed college ball for questionable decision-making. He has proven time and time again he cannot be a ref for professional and top football games. And he proved it at the end of that game. And you might say, well, how did he prove it? Because he's saying that they told him 70, or he was under the impression that it was 70 who reported. Well, that's a piss poor excuse when Dan Campbell, before the game, went up to the refs, drew them this play to show them, hey, if we're in a goal line situation to win the game or get a 2-point conversion, this is the play we're running. This is the man who's going to be eligible. So why the fuck, when that moment came and Taylor Decker went up there, did he think that it was anybody but Taylor Decker who was eligible? Then when they line up on the line, why would Taylor Decker be in the eligible spot on the line? It just doesn't make any, like, how do you fuck that up that badly? And it just pisses me off that it had to be against the Cowboys. It always has to be against the Cowboys.
Some would say that maybe you shouldn't let the refs decide the game for you.
Well, that's bullshit. I hate that.
I'm just.
No, I hate that because that is what gets
there.
these pieces of shit off the hook. Time and time fucking time again, these pieces of shit refs ruin so many games, playoff implication games. And everyone is just like, well, if we would have played better, it wouldn't have been up to the refs. Yeah, you're right. But are we just going to excuse shitty reffing and say we should have played better? Like, yeah, of course, as a player, as a coach, you're going to go back and be like, oh, if we would have done that or this, it wouldn't have even mattered to that. But that is no excuse to let these pieces of shit who get paid a lot of money to ref these games just off the handle for fucking up all the time. It's bullshit.
I'm with you. I think we've been on the same page as the ref the whole season. And I think what's kind of ironic is we've been on this page of refs suck, they miss calls, and then by far the biggest fuck up of the whole season happens to be the biggest game for this podcast. Yeah, I just think it's kind of ironic. I think it's kind of ironic because we have not held back anything against the refs. They know how we feel. That's your side. It's beautiful. There is also another side to this story. A winning side, some would say. And let's hear from that side.
All right. So I just got a little bit. First off, Chris, eventually you're gonna have to stop being a baby back bitch and let this go because there's nothing you can do about it. It already is set in stone. However, I understand why you're upset. I know there's some questionable things, but you also had questionable things in the entire game. You did things throughout the entire game that put you in bad positions, like you threw 2 interceptions. You kept going for it multiple times on one whole drive and literally did a turnover on downs after, I think it was like 4 in a row that you guys were doing just to make it down the field. And you could have kicked a field goal, put yourself in a better position. You would have won that game. Didn't need to be in that situation. There's all these things like this. I'm sorry that had to happen to you. You hate me. And I literally, it's the most annoying thing because yes, we won, but like you are so heated and mad to the point where like nothing I'm going to say is going to make sense other than you lost, you're pissed, be a baby. That's all good. When you're ready to be a man, talk our differences. You know where to find me.
Well, Justin,
Thank
I
I'm
appreciate your
just
input.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
But
Look
it
at
makes absolutely no sense to me. And yes, we could have done a lot of things better, most of which the biggest thing we could have done better is guard CD Lamb. We couldn't do shit about CD Lamb. We shut your ass down in every single way except CD.
And guess who was on
Lamb.
him? The
So-
ex-Steeler, bro. The ex-Steeler.
Well, okay, look, it was
Yeah,
ugly.
he's been
Can you?
disappointing.
Everybody can
Yeah,
admit here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my God, I'm not proud of this win. I'm not thinking this is the best win the Cowboys ever had. I think this is a holy, like, it's just fucking. Here's what I
Tony.
said. No matter what happens, whether we won or we have lost, this was just a shitty game on both ends that honestly, it didn't matter who it was just going to given to somebody. And if it would have been on the opposite end, I would have been upset. Yes, but I'd been like, just literally, that was the whole game. It was ugly from the like get-go. It was the weirdest things. Like, you should have had that safety in the end zone. I don't know what the fuck that dude just stopped. Maybe he had money on the CD or something. I don't fucking know. But he literally just did not hit Dak. And that was the 92-yard touchdown.
Well,
but you guys did. It was fucking annoying, dude. And it is what makes me mad. Last year, you guys, CD Paul or whatever, and Tony Pollard will be the #1 back, and now I buy into this fucking hype. And he's shitty all fucking season. He literally couldn't do anything. Like, couldn't run the fucking football. We shouldn't have won this game. Like, if I'm sitting here telling you, dude, we literally, like, the whole game, I was like, this is pathetic. We look pathetic. How the fuck are we this good and we can't do anything? And the only reason we won is because our defense is so fucking good and gets 2 interceptions on you guys, stops you a bunch of different times, just couldn't hold you down at the end of the game. When it fucking
you sound like me all season. Calm down, buddy.
Well, no, it just is. No, it's not what it is. It's just ugly. Like, that's the thing about it at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm happy we got the win and we're in a good position, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm proud of this win. This is the best win I ever got. Fuck you, Chris. Like, it's a shitty win, dude. I'm sorry that we got this win against you. It sucks.
I will say, is it not me, or has this season felt like there's been way too many really cool big plays that have happened that have gotten overturned by refs? Like like back to back. Like, I don't think it's back to back weeks, but the Kadarius Toney like lateral from Travis Kelce was fucking sick. Right? Sure, you line up both sides, but like they said, how many times has that been called?
Well, all of a sudden after that, they started calling it like crazy
all the time, right? And then now you have this play where it's like a bit. This one is a little bit different because that one is kind of just like a judgment call. Like, hey, if the ref thinks you're actually offsides, like he threw the flag before the play like really win, so it's kind of like whatever. But this one is kind of just a fuck up on the ref. Like, they told you who was in, and they automatically
didn't just fuck up for the Lions. They fucked up for the Cowboys too. On the tripping call that we got on Hendershot wasn't Hendershot. It was fucking Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, that was a weird play looking back at it. But see, I would have rather lost. I would have rather lost on that.
I would have too. I would too, because it would have been like,
this was just
fucking tripping.
This was an actual fuck up. Like,
that's what I'm
like when someone is
you say it wasn't a pretty end of the game. Like, dude, it was one fuck up on the Cowboys. Like, they fucked up on our part, and then we had to do it. Then we fucked up and got in a position where the refs had to make this thing, and they fucked up for you. They fucked up on both situations, because if we would have had it, like, if it would have been tripping the other way, we'd have 15 yards, a fresh set of downs. We would have ran the timeout.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's a bad call. This is poor.
No, this is they're both bad calls.
This isn't a bad call. This is a ref being dumb. And when a person says, I am the legal guard, and then you call the wrong name, that's not like a bad call. That is like oh, you suck at your job.
Well, that's why I'm so pissed off, is because it feels like the refs invent new ways to fuck the lines. Whether it started off with Kelvin Johnson, what is a catch against the Chicago Bears?
Bro,
then it became pass interferences and phantom face masks.
When you were like, when is he gonna let this go? When you say Dez caught it, every single time without fail, Chris will go, well, the year before, did you know that?
No, the week before.
The week before, Calvin Johnson had the same.
Well, it wasn't just that.
play.
It was also the missed pass interference in that game. It's the phantom face mask against Aaron Rodgers. The refs always find these fucking ways to take things away from the Lions. And then this
is the mindset of Detroit people.
daddy of them all because it wasn't even a judgment call. It wasn't a live play, bang, bang,
Oh,
like
that's
judgment.
why
It
it's
was
weird.
you were explained something, and then they came up and told you something, and you still somehow got it wrong. And now you won't even admit that you were wrong. You are sticking to your guns and saying, no, it was 70 who were. Shut the fuck up. If I ever meet, I'm not going to put a threat on video,
No,
but just know
nope, we're
that
not doing
Brad Allen does not want to
We're
fucking
not
cross
doing that.
paths
We're
with
not
you.
doing that.
Jesus. I think at the
But I
end of
will
the day,
say,
yeah, 100%. Refs should be the refs
if
should
this
if this ref has done this multiple times, there should be a suspension. There should be something like that. What the fuck's this?
if this goes the opposite way, are the Lions and 49ers playing for that first round bye?
Yes.
Oh, that's a big game.
But instead, and here's my conspiracy brain, the NFL would rather have the Eagles and the Cowboys compete to win that division this week.
Why? I think everyone's falling in love with the Lions.
It's
Doesn't
Detroit
matter.
versus everybody. That's the mindset.
It's Detroit versus everybody.
And
all right, fuck it. Well, you guys had your team. Are you guys done?
Well, I
Yeah,
had something else, but you kept distracting me with your hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
Yeah. Because
But, like, I don't fucking know anymore.
Okay, what you got for me?
Dude, I mean, I can't remember. Ultimately, at the end of the day, like Chris, dude, it wasn't good either way. You guys played really great, and I think you guys at that when that first play got called, I was like, damn, you guys won, and I was fucking pissed. I was mad. You guys played great. And this will be a better matchup, and I think this is going to be overall a better game. And I hope we play a lot better, and I hope we beat the shit out of you twice. So
I would rather that happen, though. I would rather you beat the shit out of me than end it stupidly. Yes, Alex.
So wish up. We can move on. I'm good.
I want to just my 2 cents on this.
I will say 2 cents.
Nope. I will say, when I first saw this play happen, my first initial thought was these two teams are meeting in the playoffs.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I think that this is going to fuel the Lions so much more than it's going to fuel the Cowboys. And it's just going to, I was like, yo, the Lions are winning the Super Bowl this year. Not because of whatever, but it's just like, there's no way that team isn't like,
they're
on fire to just like, fuck it. Like, let's just beat everybody. Let's kill them. And like, let's not even like let anybody else decide anything for the rest of the season for us. And so I was like, dude, like, they have it coming. This is the best season they've had in 30 years, 40, however many years, right? Like, I was like, dude, there's no way that they don't win the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's very optimistic. I think
picking the Lions.
Place a bet on it right now. Future.
Well, anyways, Alex, you can clock in. I think it's your time.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what
that's all we're gonna introduce me as I gave you guys a beautiful introduction. You're gonna just say, I think it's clock.
Okay, no, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, let's get in.
Strap on your truss. Put on your hard helmet. Put on your boots. I don't know why I'm giving you a southern accent because you're up in Pittsburgh, but it's time to go to the steel mill, guys. And most importantly, not only are we clocking in to go bang some steel, we're clocking in to learn who is the leader of the steel mill. Is Kenny Pickett going to return next year to lead the Steelers team? Alex, what are your thoughts?
So thank you so much for the time here. I know none of you would have.
You're welcome.
The Steelers to win this week. So I just know in my heart of hearts that would not have happened, especially from this motherfucker. I know I'm pointing and you hate me. So I want to say though, I think, a couple things. I said I'm back on the Mike Tomlin train. Am I really? I don't know. Are we going to just keep being, are we just going to keep being average and accept it going to the last seed in the playoffs and the wild card and getting beat in the first round? How long can you accept that? Right? Like, that's like the question is, how long can you keep accepting that? Like, right? If the Lions did that this year, or if like the Lions did that last year, it's different, right? When's the last time? Like the Cowboys, right? How long did the Cowboys accept it with Jason Garrett? You keep getting to that first round of the playoffs and never getting on. We've done that so often, so it's like, how much longer can we do it? It's nice to keep winning, though, I guess. It's nice to have a winning record, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's time to you're never like, oh, it was a bad season. It was like, oh, we kind of had a winning season, so it was nice. Um, um,
That's
um,
that's a bad mentality.
no, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, cool, we had a winning season. How can you be mad about it, right? That makes sense. Like, how can you be mad
Ish,
about
yeah.
a
I see
nine and
what you're
seven season,
saying,
a
but it's
nine and
just
seven
like
season that takes you to the playoffs? How can you be mad about a season like that? Like
when you get
after a
spanked in the
while,
first round again
listen, I understand. That's
to
what I'm
the
saying. How long?
Browns.
Hold on. How long can you
Well,
let
that
that
team's
happen?
good.
Yeah, that team is not good, but there is something.
No, I mean the last time you were in the playoffs.
Yeah, I understand with Ben Roethlisberger. I get it. I get it, man. I get it. What I will say though is, two, we need to ship Devontae Johnson out, cut him,
Yeah.
ship him out, whatever. Give George Pickens the helm, see what he can do. Draft another receiver this year. Like, see what happens in this receiver room for them. They're just gonna always be a young receiver team. That's what they've always done. They need to. I don't know. It's like this season is so weird with backup quarterbacks. They've been playing so well and then so bad and then so well, so bad. When everyone's like, oh, remember when I told you guys are like, oh, Mason Rudolph's coming in? It's like, yeah, this man's been on the team for 5 years. If he doesn't know like the lingo and if he doesn't know the things, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why has he been on this team for so long then? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on. Like, yeah, of course he's gonna execute it very well. He's been with him forever. And so he's looking good. I mean, so he's looking good. I mean, I'm not like super sold on him. I don't know what's gonna happen. They might even draft a fucking quarterback in the draft. Who knows? But they're looking like they are a really good team minus the most important position on the field. That's like what they look like, right? They look like they have a really good receiver core. They have their running back, like Jalen Warren has really.
No, you get rid of Najee.
I understand, but you have him on like a really cheap contract.
For how much longer though?
I think next year's is last year. And so you have him on a really cheap contract. And if he's running like this, knowing Warren is running like this too, okay, right? You'll take it. So it's like you're pretty good back there. Your defense is what your defense is. We could use a little help in the secondary, but our defense is fucking crazy. And then you have silently the sack leader, but no one wants to fucking talk about TJ Watt. And
Who?
yeah. TJ Watt? Yeah, that's what I fucking
Never
thought.
heard of
no
him.
one, yeah,
I've
no
never
one wants
heard of him either. Who is he?
No one wants to talk about him.
Oh, you talking about the former DPOY?
I'm talking about this year. Like no one's I was so yeah, whatever.
Why do you think that is?
I have no
Is
idea.
it because
He
there's
sucks?
so many great defensive linemen now?
No, his team sucks. They don't get the attention. They're not doing anything.
I mean, that could be it. Like, it's been a weird season. Like, we haven't had in the last 2 seasons has been like the first time the Steelers aren't in like the mainstream media for NFL.
If
Right?
you
Like the
listen to our
Steelers
podcast, you see how the Steelers season's been. There's been so many highs and lows and epic highs and lows, like between the firing of Canada, then Pickett's, and then you guys are down, then it goes back up. And like literally, dude, it has been the most emotional roller coaster. And that's why it's funny every week to hear you contradict yourself from the week before, saying something different this week, right? So here we go on the Mike Tomlin train. Maybe he doesn't know. He just said yes, but never.
I don't know. I just don't. If I think about it logically, I don't know. Like, I think you brought it this perfectly. I think you guys are on the opposite train, right? Like, not of me, but like you guys. Justin's like, I'm like, let's bring in a new guy, and you're like, who? Like, you're gonna like take a brand new face over consistency. Like, is that really what you want to do? And then Chris is like, yeah, take the brand new face. Look what we've done. The Lions get a new coach every other year.
Well,
but like,
no, I'm not actually a huge fan of that because I think getting rid of Jim Caldwell for Matt Patricia was a mistake.
Oh, yeah. We had Jim Caldwell for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, he took us to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was the 2015 playoffs.
It led
season.
you to MCDC.
I agree, but I think that we could have still gotten to MCDC and still been better off with Caldwell over those last few years than with Matt Patricia. Ruined our franchise. He got rid of Darius Slay and a couple other guys that he shouldn't have. So like he damaged the organization.
I get that. So, but yeah, so what I'm saying is I don't know.
So you do have to be careful.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about the Steelers because it's like you're like, oh, we're gonna make this playoffs, but it's like, dude, not that Mason Rudolph isn't good enough to like. He's obviously a good enough quarterback to play in the NFL. That's why he's still in the NFL after 5 years. But it's like, is he a good enough quarterback to like take your team to the playoffs and win a Super Bowl? We don't know, right? He hasn't played that much, but it's like, do we really want to test that out this year? I don't really know, right? Yeah. And then you're gonna go in and who's the number 2 seed in the AFC right now? Would it be
in the AFC?
Yeah.
Ravens are 1, and then 2 would probably be the Chiefs. No, it's the Dolphins. How?
Because
11-5.
They're so inconsistent, though.
Yeah,
but if they lose this week, I think they'll become number 3 because then it's kind of fucked because the Chiefs are sitting at 10-6, and so are the Bills. But the Browns are 11-5 too. So Browns win, then they'll be number 2.
Yeah, but the Browns will always be 5.
No,
the Ravens won their division, so they'll always.
Yeah, that is true.
Wow.
So they'll always be 5 no matter what.
So that's so fucked because technically if the Bills win, then they would win their division. No, I don't know if they would win their division or not because
we'd have to look at their
would they play when they played
similar
the last
wins
time, how'd they
losses. Do? Yeah.
Well, who has the division?
Well, I think they split. Didn't they split?
Right. No, they beat them the last time. So if they beat them again,
they would have the division.
Like they win the division. So they have to, they'll win the division. That's crazy. And so that might put them at number 2 or the Chiefs. Both looked pretty bad, but I don't know what that happened.
But when you're the Steelers and you make the 7th spot, you don't really want to play the Bills or the Chiefs. You know what I mean? In Arrowhead
I'd probably play
in
the Chiefs.
Buffalo. Yeah, obviously it's probably the better choice right now that the Bills are getting hot. But now you're at a point where it's like, okay, we win against the Ravens. They're not playing anybody, so there's a better likelihood this week that we win against the Ravens than the last time, and we beat them last time. So it's like, do you make it in and you freaking have to play this team, and then when you make this run, and then maybe Mason Rudolph is the guy, right? Brock Purdy did it for them. Not saying that Mason Rudolph is Brock Purdy, but hey, now look at Brock Purdy, right? Who would have known what would have happened in the NFC Championship if Brock Purdy could throw a ball? Might have been a different game.
Yeah.
And so
fair.
I guess that's what we can hope for, right? He didn't play as many games as Brock Purdy, but he's been there for a long time and he knows the system and maybe he can do something with it. I think the defense is good enough to like feel it out and and I think it'd be fun. Maybe we upset the Chiefs and we lose the next round, but dude, talk about a fun playoffs, upsetting the Chiefs. That'd be great. That'd be a win for this year.
Oh, for sure.
That'd be a win for this year.
Then I would keep Tomlin after that, I guess.
Yeah, even if it takes you to the playoffs, I think it's hard to not keep him.
Well, I think about Kenny Pickett playing, quarterback play, and offensive coordinator play. I think about all those other things. It's not Tomlin. It's been the rest of your squad. It's not like Tomlin's the issue here.
Yeah, so this is the one year where I would say every other year I would agree with you, but this is the one year I've heard way too much from the locker room. And Tomlin being
he lost a grip on that room.
Tomlin being a player's coach and the way he coaches kind of lost it this year. I'm not saying he can't get it back, but this year specifically is the one year I've heard. I think it's what we feel from, like you said, Jay, we are out of the mainstream media. We've had the high highs and the low lows. That's not what the Steelers do. The Steelers are just ride their highs and they're consistent. And this year they're not been like that.
Like I don't get.
I've seen you win 9 games in a row, 10 games in a row, and then lose out the season.
Yeah, that was.
We're
great.
consistent.
I think there was actually 11 in a row.
Yeah, we win 11 games. Out. We win 11 games in a row. We're consistent, and then we consistently lose 6 games.
Well, you guys see, like in Amon-Ra St. Brown, is the type of receiver that you would think would fit in a Mike Tomlin system, all business, all focus. And instead, they go after Looney Tunes, who he has to like babysit and keep quiet. And I
So
don't
I
get
mean,
that.
yeah, if the Lions want to send over Amon-Ra, I would.
No, that's not happening. I'm just saying
They're
their drafting of that position is they have
weird.
wild judgment
Such good
of
players, but
character.
weird.
Yeah, great character or great players, but questionable character.
But yeah, so that's what I got in the steel mill. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I think it'll be a wild. I'm sad that we won't be able to see Kenny Pickett play in a playoff game.
Oh, we're all devastated.
No, but our bet is
You're just happy the bet is null and void. I know
Yeah,
you're
you're lucky.
if
First, you would not be in this position if Kenny Pickett came back in, just so you know.
No, I think Mason Rudolph is the reason that. Like, I don't think Kenny Pickett would have played as good as Mason Rudolph. But
well, okay. Actually, big question. I've been dying to ask you this.
Go, dude.
How do you feel about Kenny Pickett's response when he was clearly irked about not coming back in and he was asked, hey, have you at least learned anything in this time where you've gotten to kind of observe from the sideline? And he said no.
See,
he laughed and said no.
For one, he's young. Hold on. For one, he's young. He's 23.
Yeah.
Young. We remember what it was like to be 23. For two, he didn't lose his job because he didn't play well. He lost his job because he got hurt, and the guy above him was playing better. Not that he was playing amazing, but it's like he didn't play bad enough to lose his job. But the guy that happened to just come in for him is winning, so it's hard to not take the hot hand when you are unsure about your quarterbacks, right? It's like, so you feel it that way. And, when you get your freaking position taken from a guy who's been there for 5 years and was hated by the Steelers for a long time, like Steelers fans, what that doesn't feel good. I don't think it's great. It's not a great
top response.
It's not a great
It's not
leader.
a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Dak Prescott.
It's not a great leader.
Guys who always say the right thing response.
It's not a great leader response. But once again, he's 23. Like, that's fucking, like, I understand that you want him to be, but he's 23. Like, you know what I mean?
He is 25. Thanks, McJam. No excuses. He should be mature enough by now.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Are we still talking about Kenny Pickett?
We always will be talking about Kenny Pickett until he's no longer.
At the end of the day, I think this is just, you do your thing, Alex. And I think it's funny listening to you. And then when he actually gets dropped as your starting quarterback and you guys go after somebody else, you're going to be like, yeah, I knew it all along. And then it's just going to seem like you should have done it anyways. So it is ultimately at the end of the day, it's whatever.
Yeah, I will end it with not a great leader response from the guy that's supposed to lead your team.
And who's young enough to still have so much to be learning.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
then to say, no, you're not learning
even though
anything.
you are sitting on the bench behind a guy, that guy's been there for 5 years, and guess who he learned under?
Yeah.
Big Ben. And no matter what you want to say.
He actually didn't learn shit from Big Ben. Big Ben said
Big Ben didn't want to teach him. Big Ben would have rather just indulged in his
He just had to watch him. But anyways, there's really not much else to talk about with the steel mill. And we can just get into, I think, just the rest of football since we're already on this topic. And it is just so crazy.
Before we get into football, I think we need to hit the bird's nest, though.
Oh my God, my bad.
I'm so sorry.
I do this every time.
This is the one. I think it's the one week that, we've had. This is the third week that we've really been about the bird's nest. When they beat the Cowboys,
yes.
When they somehow upset the Steelers, and
not somehow. That one wasn't as shocking.
And this week, what happened, McJam? Fill us in on all things Cardinals.
Yeah, Kyler's definitely the franchise quarterback, so the disrespect at the start of the episode was unwarranted. But yeah, Cardinals are playing good. I'm glad that we didn't tank the season to get some stupid draft pick that we wouldn't have used. I'm glad that we're winning. It's exciting. Building momentum for next year. And we played great. Eagles didn't play the best, but we played great. So I'm happy.
Man, a
Yeah, it
few
was
words.
great.
I love it.
And I love their jerseys.
Yeah.
Loved when they
Beautiful.
wore the all whites with the shiny cardinal. It's nice.
Cardinals
Yeah,
won, ASU won. It was a good New Year's Eve.
I just appreciate you guys getting a win. Hey, I needed that. I needed the Cardinals to upset the Eagles. So thank you. That was lit.
Clutch.
One
Yep.
time I was rooting for him.
Okay, perfect question then. What position, if now not a quarterback, what position do you think they should go after with their first round pick?
Is easy. Is
A
easy.
wide receiver over 6
Yeah.
foot.
Marvin Harrison Jr. It's easy.
They're not
You
getting
think
Marvin
he's still going to be
Harrison.
there?
The Bears
What
are
number
going
they
to
have?
take him.
5?
They're going to
No,
keep Justin Fields?
They're taking a QB.
Yeah.
Um,
The entire crowd at the last Chicago Bears game was chanting, "We want Justin."
they like him, huh?
They love him.
I mean, they are the Chicago Justin Fields, so it's like he's the only person that does anything on that team.
They should go after a fucking offensive line to protect
That's
him.
what I was thinking.
But the Cardinals, I mean, I don't know what you guys need. A little bit of everything.
Yeah. Not a quarterback, though.
No,
Not a QB.
not a QB.
So you're feeling better than the Steelers.
Okay. All right, you're done. You're done. Yeah, let's talk about the rest of the NFL. Do you guys want to hop into the fucking Ravens and Dolphins?
I don't think we need to talk about games. I think we just talk about the conferences and these potential things.
Playoff
And we can talk
picture.
about that because
All
I love your ideas and enthusiasm. I thought that was great. And it
It's
was
fine.
an ass whooping, but that's why the Ravens are the #1 seed. That's why the Ravens have already clutched up the AFC. They are. They're so good, dude. And I told you guys all season they were going to be so good. This is such a dirty team. I didn't realize they had Javon Clowney on them. He had dude, this team is just, it's scary. And that's a good team to play in the playoffs. And I think dude, they could potentially win it if they just can't fuck up.
I hate
And
to
they've
say
had
this.
already so many injuries too. They have had 2 running backs go down. Mark Andrews is out. Man, I mean, they could sit up and chalk up a bunch of excuses why they're not winning football games, but they're still winning football games.
I hate to say this. When I watched them play the 49ers, I was like, damn.
They look good.
They look good.
It's
and then I watched
hard.
them play Miami, and I was like, oh my gosh. They're just like, I don't understand how Lamar is doing this. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand how he is playing and balling out with this crew of unlikely misfits. It's what it feels like. This crew that just like, they just kind of win. And their defense is absolutely.
No, this is steadily the best receiving core this team has ever had in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
OBJ and Zay Flowers have been phenomenal for them all season. And Lamar is that guy. He just hasn't had the talent around him. Like, you can sit there, like, I think there's other people that are having silently big seasons, like Isaiah Likely, the wide receiver tight end. What a win from having go from Mark Andrews, losing him, to having him. Like, that's a dude. Just small pieces got lucky, and they have really good talent around them. And that defense is scary, bro. That defense has always been stacked. And so they just overall, Lamar has better talent around him, which is why you're seeing so much more success. And I think it was quiet because when we were talking about Dak a few weeks ago for MVP, like, still no one talked about Lamar, but they're sitting there at 13-3. Like, how are we not talking about him? How are people?
He should be
not
MVP.
But now he's talking about him, and he should. This has been a crazy season for him. After he got paid,
I'd be shocked if they
worth
don't win
it?
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would be shocked too. Was it worth it paying every fucking penny? 100%.
Yes.
I would have paid him more. Yeah.
It is so.
They're not gonna win the Super Bowl. Don't get too crazy.
Okay, well, if they make it to
do
the
what you
Super
want.
Bowl, they will, because no NFC team can seem to beat them. So it's up to the AFC to stop them. But it is
got 'em.
insane that so many teams publicly came out and said, we don't want Lamar. So, like,
That's
you've
so
never
wild.
seen that in big free agency. And this happens. It wasn't even free agency. He was trying to get out. And then he just proved why everyone should have been giving up whatever it took to get him.
Yeah.
The Steelers should have taken him.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. It's a big fuck you to everybody.
I'll be the first to say I was a Lamar hater. Fucking, it's hard to disprove after what he's done the last 2 seasons now. The last 3 seasons, basically. It's hard to be like, this guy's not good.
Yeah. Well, we know the Dolphins are hit or miss. Chiefs, you guys know right now are hit or miss. The one I want to talk about is actually the AFC South, because this one confuses the fuck out of me. And so I'm going to try and explain this a little bit. So basically, if the Jaguars win, no matter what, they're in the playoffs. It seems like it, because they win the tiebreaker over both Houston and the Colts, which they're playing head to head. And so they would win the division at that point, right? So they have to lose in order for Houston or the Colts to get in.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, but if Houston wins, they win the
And they
tiebreaker,
lose.
Steelers over you guys. So if you were to win and they were to win, you wouldn't go to the playoffs.
I
But
picked the Colts.
if they lose and the Jaguars lose, I don't know how the fuck that happens. I don't even know. I think the Colts technically, but the Colts win the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh based off their head-to-head win percentage. So this is so fucking
Yeah, but who would win that division then?
Oh my God. Okay.
No, that's right.
If the
That's why I think-
Jaguars lose and the Texans
Okay,
lose, wouldn't
Alex-
the Colts win the division?
So
Yes.
okay, I don't know how.
So
this
then it
works,
wouldn't matter for Pittsburgh.
But if the
then it wouldn't matter
Dolphins,
for us. That's how we sneak into the 7th spot. Is you have to have Jaguars lose, you have to have Houston lose, and you have to have the Colts win the division, and you have to have the Steelers beat the Ravens. So we end up
that makes
10
sense.
so we end up
So,
10-7.
If the Jaguars lose, then whoever wins the Houston Texans Colts game, they're gonna win the South. Right?
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
If
Yes.
Jaguars need to lose. Well, this is just from the
Interesting.
Steelers scenario. Jaguars need to lose. Steelers need to win. Houston needs to lose. Colts win the division. Because if the Colts lose, well, I guess if the Jags win, we're out. No, I guess we're not. But if the Jags win and Houston wins, we're out. Because Houston owns. No, actually, we are. Because if the Jags win
We'd
and
be
Houston
out because they win the tiebreaker over you. Both those
Yeah.
teams win the tiebreaker.
that's what I'm saying. So they own those over us.
Yeah.
Wild, dude. So I
Well,
don't know.
technically, any of these teams can win the division.
And so who the Jags playing again?
If the Texans win, they win the division.
Titans.
Ooh, that's gnarly. So we need the Titans to absolutely ball out.
Yeah. Which I mean, hey, some bigger things happen. The one thing that surprised me, if the Bills lose, that puts them in weird positions because then they're 10-7, and if you guys win, you're 10-7.
Yeah.
And then so
what would the Houston be if they won 10-7?
10-7.
And then
Literally,
what would-
whoever, if the Jaguars lose, whoever wins out of the Colts and Texans, they're the winners, and that 10-7. But then if that's it. Period. End of discussion. But if Jaguars win, then they both whoever wins that one has a chance to go in. They would just beat you.
Yeah, so
That would be banking on the Bills, I think, losing. That's just what's confusing. I think you need the Bills to lose. You need I would honestly, in this scenario, I would want
you just need the Jags to lose and
Bills.
yeah, I just need the Jags to lose.
The Bills.
Well, because because you have the Browns, you have whoever loses between the Bills and the Dolphins are gonna get in, yes?
No, they're both in already.
That's what I'm saying. So whoever
No, but Bills are in. Bills are in. Bills, Miami's in, but Bills are not.
Bills are not. Okay, so if the Bills win, then Miami gets a wild card spot, yes?
Mhm.
And then there's one more. And so they would need the Jaguars to lose, the Colts to win for the Steelers to get it. Because then the Bills would have won their division. They would have got the 3rd seed behind the Chiefs probably. And then you have the Steelers get the 7th position. Is that basically what I'm hearing?
I'm confused.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so confusing.
That's confusing.
It's going to be a crazy finish.
So we need to win, which is crazy because what sucks for us is we determine our fate on Saturday morning. We're the first game. We determine our fate.
True.
If we win,
Then you have
now
to
it's
wait.
just a lot of waiting. It's just a lot of waiting, to see what happens.
Is that better though than knowing going into the game, win or lose, you'll get in? Like in
No,
that kind of pressure?
I think I want to know. I want the pressure.
You'd rather
Like,
know
give
first?
me the give us the pressure. Like the thing is, I mean, we
Oh.
got Mason. We got Mason. What's up?
Chris, did you actually know the Rams already clinched playoff?
Yes, but I don't want to play them.
Oh.
So yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Stafford coming back to Detroit.
As storybook as that is, I
sounds,
don't want.
yeah, it sounds horrible. Yeah, so I think we need. I would rather know where we sit before we go into the game, I guess. Because if we have no chance to get into the playoffs, sit your people. Like, why not? You have no chance to get to the playoffs. There's no point in hurting a future year, right? There's no point. Huh?
I mean, I don't know how long they plan these games out in advance, but probably why they did it.
I mean, they this is way too far in advance planned out. But I understand, like it's like, hey,
They
but
anticipate.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see if the Steelers can make it in. The AFC is going to be wild. It comes down to what? The Jags game, the Houston game, and then the Bills game and our game. Those are the 4 games that you really got to look out for, right? And if we lose, then it instantly goes to the Houston and the Colts game. That's the game that you're looking out for. Because that game decides if we lose off the bat, that game, whoever wins that game makes it as a 7th seed. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be. Can you talk about it? Talk about 2 teams that should not have even been in at close to 10-7. Fucking Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts.
I think this is ultimately going to be Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs. I think the Browns, definitely. The Bills, probably. And it's going to be whoever wins the Texans or the Colts game. That's why.
You think it comes down to that game? You think the Jags finish it out, get the 4th seed, play the Browns? Oh, that sucks, bro.
Yeah.
That would
honestly,
suck.
I mean, their season's not really going anywhere, so it wouldn't really.
Yeah, that would be crazy because then you have, if the Browns win, and then if the number 2 and 3 seed take care of business, that means that the Ravens would have to play the Browns. That's crazy.
And Joe Flacco would have to play the Ravens.
Yeah, Joe Flacco would have to play the Ravens. It's just like that would be
Baltimore.
Yeah, that would be. They love him over there.
Well, yeah, he's elite.
Not that week.
No, probably not that week. That would be something. That would be a fun storyline because then you're like, cool, we're going there, and then so you think it's gonna go Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs?
No, it would technically go Ravens, Bills, Chiefs.
Oh, you think the Bills are
Jags.
gonna beat Miami? That's right.
Yeah, and so then it'll be Dolphins and the one of the
Browns.
Browns, yeah.
If the Dolphins lose and the Browns win, would the Browns have a better record?
But it wouldn't matter. Yeah, they would. They would. So they'd be the number 5.
So they would be the number 5, and then Dolphins would get the number 6.
Yeah.
And then they have to go play the fucking Bills? Or would they be the 2 seed and they'd have to play the Chiefs? Right? If
that's the hard part.
Yeah, if the Chiefs get the 3 seed, then the Miami would play the Chiefs. That'd be a fun game. Tyreek Hill back to. There's just a lot of good, like Tyreek Hill back to here, Joe Flacco back to here, Matthew Stafford back to, like, it's just like a lot of like, cool. All right, that's the AFC. What's the NFC look like? A lot more simple.
Yeah, it's a little more straightforward.
So really, there's an NFC. Chris, you can help me with this. I think there's an NFC South battle. So basically, I think the Buccaneers play the Saints, right? If the Buccaneers win, they win the division. If the Saints win, I think they win the division. So it's either one of those games.
But don't the Bucks have to lose and the Saints win?
Yeah, there we go. Bucks would have to lose and Saints would have to win. I was like, whoa.
What? That's what I said, right?
No. You said I guess if you're inferring that, like,
oh no, they're not playing each other. Okay, I thought they were playing each other. Not.
No, it's Saints and Falcons. And I think the Falcons are in that mix too.
Kinda, yeah, for the division.
So if the Bucks lose, did the winner of the Saints Falcons game win the
Yeah.
division?
But they're not going to lose.
I think
No, they're not losing to the Panthers. The Panthers are horrible.
They're
Tepper's
really
an
bad.
idiot.
Yeah. So then what? It's the 49ers and then an unknown team right now, right?
Well, it's the
Because-
49ers. Then it'll either be the Cowboys or the Eagles, depending on this week. And then the Lions instead of the 3rd seed. And then
Lions still have a chance at the 2nd seed.
anyways, the Rams then would be number 6, right? And then you get these other games. And so basically, like Packers lose, Seahawks win, they're in. Packers win. I think Packers are in no matter what if they win. They just have to win.
They have to win.
Yeah.
So right now,
tiebreaker over everybody.
So right now, the top 4 are set. Like the 4 all divisions won. No, I guess the South's not one, right?
South's the only one that's up.
Yeah.
For
So
grabs.
if the Bucks
Well,
win, they're in.
Yeah.
The East too.
They're not set in positions
Oh.
just yet, so we'll see what happens with that. But
like the Cowboys and the Eagles are both making the playoffs regardless.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then you just have whatever seat they're going to be. If they both lose, do the Eagles win the division?
Yes.
Lose.
Yeah, if you both lose, the Eagles win the division.
If Eagles lose and the Cowboys lose, no, we win the division.
Oh, Cowboys win the
We're winning
division.
the division right now.
Oh,
Okay, so you guys are in the lead right now.
so you just need to win.
Mhm.
That's it. But if you
Mhm.
both lose, you get the division. If the Eagles win and you lose, the Eagles get the division. And then how do the Lions get the 2nd seed?
By the
That
Cowboys,
way?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I just know they have the potential because Dan Campbell said that the 2nd seed's still up for grabs and they're not benching guys. And in fact, CJGJ, otherwise now known as CD Deuce, is coming back and he's going. So like they're going to try and win that game.
So would it be Eagles win, Cowboys lose, Lions get the 2nd division, get 2nd seed probably?
Maybe. I don't know, to be honest.
I don't. That's the only way I see. Because if the Cowboys lose and the Lions win, they have the same record and they have the.
I think if the line, it would be a toss up between the Eagles and Detroit because you guys are both 7-4 in conference games. We're 8-3. That's why we're sitting at number 2 over the Eagles, right? Over the Lions because we're 8-3.
Oh, but if they were to win, Lions were to win and Eagles were to lose, they would have got that extra win over them.
And if you would have beat somebody else throughout the regular
are similar opponents? Because that's a factor too. It's not just conference; it's actually like the opponent.
Well, I don't know all that. I didn't bring
know.
all the statistics to the page, but I get what you're saying.
Damn it,
And you
McJam, we need you.
And what's it called? Eagles beat the Boyz first game.
Yeah, but
They
beat
split.
them.
And then you split, and then you had a really good game against the Boyz. You know,
either way or not, I think.
I don't know how they do it.
What's going to happen is the Buccaneers are going to win. They're going to clinch the division, right? And who are the Packers playing?
The Bears.
I hope Justin Fields beats the Packers and they don't make it in. I really hope I hope the Bears own them.
Oh, me too.
Own their destiny right now because I mean there's so much shit talk between Packer fans and the Bear fans. So if they win and then the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, the Seahawks get in.
Oh,
so I would rather see the Seahawks win and go into the playoffs. It's good for my business.
So would it be then 49ers, say the Cowboys win, Cowboys, the Lions win, the Lions, and then the Bucks win, the Bucks at 4, and then who's 5? The Eagles. And then who's 6? The Rams?
Rams.
Yep.
And then you're telling me that would be crazy. The Seahawks would play the Cowboys? 7 plays 2.
Yeah.
7 plays 2. That's Seahawks, Cowboys, Rams, Lions. You don't want that.
I don't want that.
That's what's going to happen.
It's
going to happen.
But I don't want that.
You don't want that.
No, to be honest with you, I think the Lions are a better team, but I think that Stafford there's just so much of it's just that's weird. It could go wrong. It could go wrong.
But also it's like how disheartening. The only bright spot in your franchise for 10 years you have to now beat in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then
that's rough.
And then, okay, the only bright spot in the last 10 years of your franchise beat you in the playoffs for the first time in 30 years. Like, it's just like
Yeah, it's not what we want.
not really great.
No.
Not really.
I just love that Justin's over there like, man, the Seahawks make it to the playoffs. All these people are going to be like, let's go buy some upscale clothing.
No, we get time around the city. People want to be around it. You know what I mean?
And then, so that'd be fun though, because then you'd have Seahawks, Cowboys.
But
Even
even if the Seahawks, we beat the Seahawks before, but if the Seahawks lose, right, and the Packers lose, but the Saints win, well, then we play the Saints, and the Saints are dog shit.
You want that right there. Saints are
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
Get an easy first round in, but then that's also comes with like your team rests a little bit. Oh, we're playing the Saints.
We could possibly also play the Buccaneers because if
true.
Falcons win, I think the Falcons win the division. I don't fucking know. And then
Falcons win, Bucks lose, the Bucks steal that
Bucks are in.
spot.
Yeah, and then we have to play the Bucks, and they suck too. So I'd rather play them.
I would rather play the Saints. The Bucks.
Yeah, I'd rather play
too.
the Saints.
Me too.
That's crazy. The NFC is a little bit more. Just people are fighting for that 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
7th in the South. That's it.
Yeah. Wild times in the NFL. You know what's? I think we're wrapped up the NFL. Yeah, boys. You feel good about the NFL?
Yeah, we're good.
You want to go over to the Rose Bowl? You want to talk?
Let's take that parade.
I understand that you didn't get to wear a jersey of your NFL team. It's okay. You got to wear by far one of the best college games I've seen in a while.
Hell yeah. I want one of those Rose Bowl jerseys that they wore.
Yeah.
Those were
they
sick.
were baller. They were bitching. And then JJ McCarthy had the Rose Bowl like stickers on the thing.
Oh yeah, they all did on the back of they had them on the clips here and then on the back of it. Like the Rose Bowl's a special bowl.
Swagged, bro.
That's like probably the greatest bowl game in college.
Talk us through it, buddy. You're the Michigan fan. Talk us through it.
I mean, this year was so weird. You know, I failed in so many ways in fantasy. I lost in 2 championships and then was just complete ass in the rest of the leagues. And I even just had a heartbreaking loss with the Lions, but it doesn't matter because this is still the greatest year of football in my life because the Lions clinched the division for the first time in my life, first time in 30 years. And I just witnessed the Michigan Wolverines dominate the Alabama Crimson Tide for the Rose Bowl. And I know what you think. Dominate. They went into overtime. Yes, but that doesn't paint the picture of this game. The reason it went into overtime is because Michigan's special teams decided, hey, we're not going to fucking show up today. Besides for special teams, Michigan dominated this game. The defensive line completely overwhelmed Alabama's offensive line. We were getting to Milroe. Like, I think we sacked them 5 times in the first half, several times in the second half. Our offensive line was handling their defensive line. Like, it was just such a well-played game by Michigan, except for the mistakes they made were so outrageously stupid. That muffed punt return
at the 1-yard line. What the fuck was that?
Oh no, you're talking about the one at the end of the game that I was like, oh my god, what are we doing? No.
Yeah,
I mean, the first one after our defense destroyed their offense, and it was like, great, we're getting the ball back, our defense, and then they had to punt it to us, and that happened in slow motion for me. That was one of those like, what is this guy doing? Because he was running so fast at that ball. I'm like, why is he going so fast already? And then fucking muffs it, gives it to them. They get an easy touchdown. We gifted that touchdown to them.
You put him on the 20 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was brutal. But besides for like, and then when we score our second touchdown, we snap the craziest ball that goes zooming by the holder, so we miss out on that extra point. Like, the mistakes that they made were horrible. But besides for that, they outplayed Alabama in every way. Milroe looked like a deer in headlights on some of those plays.
That last play was so dumb. What
That
what
I don't
call
get
is
it.
that? What call is that? Did you see the last play, Jay? Did you guys watch the game? Last play, you're on the 4-yard line, quarterback sneak. The fuck is that? 4
So
yards.
what I said to Sydney, because she watched the end of the game with me, I was like, I kind of understand that play and I don't all at the same time. I understand it because that was the only thing that Milrow could do was like
but
kind of
also-
take off on us.
Also, yeah, kind of take off on you, but he dove from like the 6. What's going on?
Well, our defensive line collapsed their offensive line, and literally, if you watch it in slow motion, our defensive lineman shoved their offensive lineman into him. He got sacked by his own offensive line.
But if you look at it, Jay, it looks like he dove from the 6 to try to get in the end zone.
Yeah,
It's like, what
no,
the
it
fuck
was
is
awkward.
going on?
Well,
It
once
was-
again, that was a bad snap. So it was another low snap he had to pick up, so that cost him a half second. Not saying he was going to make it if it was a perfect snap, but it cost him some time. And that was the thing that I noticed in that game is both teams seemed too eager McBeaver. Like the guy trying to return the punts was trying to like make a play so fast, and their center was trying to get ready for the defensive line so fast that he was just like giving Milrow horrible snaps because he wanted to stand up and guard him as fast as possible.
Dude, you should have, Jay, the second muff pump, the first one, whatever. The second one on like the 4-yard line, fucking muff
End
it,
of the game.
catches it on the 1, almost fucking takes the safety.
Yeah.
Dude.
It would have been the most heartbreaking ending to a game of all time.
Oh my
Luckily,
gosh.
that did not happen. We were able to
Crazy.
just kneel the ball a couple times, take it into overtime, and then there was no shot. We
Why the fuck
scored
did he
in
go
two
after it?
plays, and then our defense fucked them up.
That was my thing too. Why the fuck? You're right. Why did he go after that ball? You're on the 4-yard line. That ball's bouncing into the end zone. It was like maybe
that was stupid.
10-yard line.
It
was like
should've
maybe
just let it go.
10. You should have just let it go.
You
would've-
weren't going to do anything. You were
No.
going to take the ball into you're going to take the game into overtime. You didn't need to touch
Fair
that ball.
catch it. Fair catch
Let it go. No,
Yeah.
don't even do that.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
the
it was-
fuck out of the way.
Oh yeah.
That's all
it
you
was
have to
crazy.
do.
It was a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
I missed it. I was at work, so I got to watch like a little bit of I didn't watch any of it actually, and I only got to watch the evening game.
Evening game was really fun and then really boring.
Well, the evening game got the shaft. Like it was so late.
So late.
It was exciting. What I said to my my buddy Nick, who's in our fantasy league, is who would have thought that the two teams from conferences that don't like to play defense have a insane high scoring game, because it was like 28-28 before the half or something. It was like, this is
21,
insane.
21.
Like there was no defense whatsoever being played.
None.
But it was a
Ewers
fun
looked
game.
good. Quentin Ewers looked good and then he didn't.
Yeah.
I think there were. It's just like I think they got exposed a couple times on both sides, right? Like big plays. But then like the end of the game, it was a little bit more defensive and stuff like that.
It definitely didn't get out of hand in the second half.
I watched up until the like fucking the Washington went up by 10 and then they got the ball back. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like it was late over here, so I was like, I'm going to bed. This is
Also, I love those purples. It's cool. My one of my friends, Ella, they went to the game with their family, which was super dope.
How was it?
They said they had a great time, and
I
it
can
was
imagine.
New Orleans, yeah, so it was great. So they're excited. It's cool to watch two teams like are about to be in the same conference go play each other.
It's basically the
Be
first
last
Big Ten champion.
Yeah.
When I was thoroughly impressed by this man should be the number 1 pick. Penix Jr.'s fucking long balls are insane.
Oh, he throws a beautiful ball.
Holy
The
crap.
only concern I have with him is he's like 24 or something, and he's been in college because he just keeps getting injured. That would be my only hang up, is like nervous about that.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't know that, but his fucking arm is insane. Holy. That one ball that he threw like 78 yards. I don't know how far it was, but it felt like it was from the 20 to the end zone. It was insane. And it was in the breadbasket. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, he's scary. Those receivers are scary. But
And
at the end of the day, this team is very, very similar to Ohio State the last few years, especially when they had CJ Stroud. And so I think
you
it's a
think
great matchup.
Yeah, it will be. Did you
It's
see
going to be one for the
Michael
ages.
Penix be throwing it right-handed? So he's mainly a lefty, but when he throws
He
right,
is
he
a
gets
lefty.
the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
he's
couple plays there with
right-handed?
right-handed. Yeah, it's fucking
Good for
crazy,
that
bro.
fucker.
Yeah.
We've talked about going into the championship game
Mm-hmm.
on the 7th, right? Or is it the 8th?
8th.
8th. Going into on the 8th, like the one concern I guess you have is Michigan's defense is kind of dirty, and Washington's defense is their lackluster part of their game, right?
Yeah.
They've always played, can they score more points than their defense can allow?
Right.
Which they've been able to, right? They did make some big stops in Oregon, and Oregon has a really, I don't understand who put that bowl game together, Liberty versus fucking Oregon. Who was in charge of that?
That was
Dumb,
boring.
the dumbest bowl game I've ever heard. But they did make some stops versus Oregon. I know that Michigan and Oregon
Yep.
are two different teams, but Oregon's a really high-powered offense team.
No, I
So
think it's
now,
going to be a great game.
yeah,
Yeah, their defense might be soft a little bit, but their offense more than makes up for that. I kind of expect this to be a little bit more of a high scoring game because I think Michigan's offense is going to have a much easier time against their defense than they've had against Bama's defense and Ohio State's defense, and Iowa's defense. But I think that our defense is probably about to face the best offense that they've seen all year too. So it's going to be a pretty great matchup.
do you think this is going to be interesting for the Big Ten now? Because now you don't only
Oh,
because
Big Ten is jizzing right now.
what I think about the Big Ten. Okay, what I think about the Big Ten is like hard nosed defense. Like that's what I
Yeah.
always think.
Yeah.
The West Coast is not like that. Like
They're going to have to adapt.
this Oregon Washington, like they're both sides are gonna have to adapt. They're gonna have to figure out how to play a little bit defense, and they're gonna have to figure out how to stop these fucking teams that you give them the ball with 10 seconds left, they might be able to score on you. Like,
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting. There's definitely going to be some adjustments on both sides. To be honest with you, before the season, if you said who would I be most nervous about joining, I probably would have said USC. In fact, I think I did. Now, I ain't worried about USC. USC looks like shit, and they're losing Caleb Williams. Like,
yeah,
fuck them. I'm now more worried. Okay, what's Washington? What's Oregon gonna look like?
that's the
in the
teams you
Big
should have
Ten?
been worried about the whole time.
Well, debatable, but yeah.
No, not debatable. Those are
Actually, to be honest with you, more Washington than Oregon. I don't think Oregon's going to be anything next year.
I can't with he has no respect for the Pac-12.
No, I
team.
don't.
Yeah,
No,
I know
don't.
you don't. You have none. I cannot wait for this fucking Big Ten. I'm still picking Michigan. Like I said, I'm a Wolverine.
Well, actually,
fan.
Alex, we do need to talk about this because you have
Yes.
said that this is your new alliance. You're
is.
with me, but I just
am.
want to forewarn you. Do you know why Michigan's been so good these last few years? They're
JJ
the
McCarthy.
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh,
Their
Why?
defense, their defense has been coached by the Ravens. They went and got Ravens guys for that defense. That is the Baltimore Ravens defense out there. Their offense is even a very similar pro style to the Ravens. The reason they're so good is they are the Ravens. How does that
Maybe-
make you feel? Are you
maybe I'm
still
a
with me?
maybe I'm a Washington fan now. No, I mean, like, the thing is, I saw this guy get a Michigan tattoo, and I was like, man, maybe me too. Like,
Oh, I love
maybe-
that.
Maybe they win the championship, and I go get a Michigan tattoo.
Alex, literally a year ago, you were a Penn State fan.
I have no allegiance in college whatsoever.
Well, no one wants to be allegiant to James Franklin because he ain't
Yeah.
doing shit with that program.
Well, I think it's more Jerry Sandusky than anything else in that realm. But
You went to him
Back to the
after the
rapists.
fact. You did it after
I know,
the
you did,
fact.
you did.
I think ultimately at the end of the day, Chris, do you really want this guy who just is like a chameleon to join your hard nosed like like that's love, that's deep rooted. He just wants to walk in and be a Michigan fan.
no.
Well,
I don't think it's just that acceptable.
We know
There's some initiation I think he needs to
No, we know what it's like to be hard nosed, rooted in like things, family things that we do. Look at this.
That's one thing, and you were just about to try and fire your coach last week.
well,
That's
Justin,
part of being a fan.
Michigan football has the largest fan base in the nation, and just like the Cowboys have the largest NFL fan base in the nation. And you should know better than anyone here, like
Don't
me,
disrespect me
that
right now.
not
Don't
everyone
disrespect me right
in
now.
your fan base is going to be great and you're going to love. So, but they're a part of your fan base anyway, and so we will welcome Alex.
Don't disrespect me right now. Listen, I can name their quarterback and their running back, and that's about it. And their coach. Blake
There's so
Corum.
many other great players on that team that are going to be studs in the league.
You know, I think I'm going to become I think honestly, I'm a Big Ten fan. I don't really care. I think I like watching the Big Ten the best. SEC is overrated. The Big 12 is whatever, but the Big 10's fun to watch. I always thoroughly enjoy the game. Sorry, did I do that
I'm
correctly?
biased, born in Big Ten
I
country.
understand. I get it. But did I say that correctly? The game.
The game, yep.
The game.
It's
I've
the
always
game.
enjoyed that. Always enjoyed that. And even when they play Penn State, sure, Penn State loses most of the time. It's still good games. Like it's still a really good game. Then they play Iowa, this team that should be nothing, always dominate. Like their defense is insane. I don't get it. And they wave at the cancer kids. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about college is there's so many cool traditions with each program.
Yeah, that's waving at the kids at the hospital is one of the coolest traditions. I know it's newer, but like how fucking cool is that?
Actually, it's not as new as you think. I mean, it's new in the context of college football, but they've been doing it for quite a few years now in recent years.
But I mean, it's just cool that a whole however many people the stadium holds, 50, 40, 30, 20,000.
Which one?
The Iowa stadium.
The Iowa? Yeah, I don't know.
Can't be that big. Let's say 25.
Actually, it's probably more than that. You do realize college stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums.
We'll say we need Mid-Jam for that one.
No. I promise you right now.
I think
most college stadiums or most NFL stadiums are smaller than college stadiums.
I don't.
Cowboys are like the only exception.
I don't believe that.
Okay,
hold on.
Who's bigger, the Detroit Lions Stadium or the Michigan Stadium?
Michigan.
Michigan's the largest stadium in the country. Why would Ford Field be bigger?
Hey, new fan learning. I'm a new fan. Our stadium is so big.
Penn State's one of the biggest stadiums in the nation.
Hey, our stadium is so big.
Alex, okay.
Chris.
So
Chris, our stadium is so big.
I don't actually understand this.
You I did there? Our stadium.
Those are college football. Hold on one second. Hey, Alex, what's Bristol Motorway?
That's a race track.
Oh,
that's a NASCAR track.
Is it in Tennessee?
So, okay, for instance, Michigan Stadium can hold 107,600
What the fuck?
people.
107,000?
Their cap actually of all time is like 110,000. Just saying. Don't jip us on three.
I can't.
Well, and then actually the capacity for the Cowboys Stadium is 80,000 to 105,000 with the standing room. So they actually are the biggest stadium, period, in the United States. All the biggest stadiums are actually college football stadiums. Yep. So like one is the Speedway for whatever in Tennessee, but then it goes Michigan, then Beaver Stadium, which is the
Penn State,
Lions, Ohio
Speedway.
Stadium.
What the fuck do you mean the speed? Like the NASCAR Speedway?
It's a NASCAR track, yeah.
Motorsports.
Because it's so large, it just holds a lot of people. But I wouldn't really consider that a stadium.
It's technically a stadium, but anyways, it would go Michigan, the Beaver Stadium, Ohio Stadium, Kyle Field, which is College Station, Texas,
Texas A&M
Stadium, which is Louisiana, LSU, then Knoxville's Tennessee. So they're all, and they fit like these are 102,000, 100 and like they fit a fuck ton of people. Well, think about how many people go to that game considered college students and other things. You know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah, I guess that's my bad. That's my bad. That's on me. I should have known that my team had the biggest stadium ever. That's on me. I should have.
Besides that, guys, anything else to add to the potty today?
No, I'm a big Michigan fan. I hope we win the Natty. I'm a bandwagoner now. Hope we win the Natty.
Ooh, I got one thing.
Fuck Washington.
I'm so sad to announce that I did lose my playoff with Cyprus this week. My other half, I
Ooh.
will not be in the championship.
What'd she
Unfortunately,
say?
she'll be playing Alex. And Alex, I hope you lose, buddy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro, going
What
for the
the
home
fuck?
team.
This
Yeah,
is rigged. This is rigged. You know, you guys always call me so fucking bad at fantasy, and I've been in multiple championships.
you're always the dumbest, but you find a way to win. That's for sure.
Hey, my team
Hopefully not this
is
week.
gonna beat her ass, bro.
I
Let's
hope
see. What
you
do we
bet.
are we projected? Are we projected? What's the projection? Are we
I don't look at
Alex, how funny would
all
it be
about
if
matchups.
you lose to Justin in the championship in one league and then Cyprus in the championship in another?
Oh, dude, if she doesn't change her lineup, I'm beating that ass.
Chris, speaking of
Yes.
which, the other part
Yes.
that pissed me off about the Cowboys game was losing my fantasy team because I had both Pollard, Gibbs, and Dak, and that's why I lost my team.
Well, I lost one of my fantasy championships because I went up against CD. So
Yeah.
and then I lost my
I
other
will
one
say-
by 0.4 points. 0.4.
I will say this. If my team loses, how?
What do you mean? Any given Sunday. Don't give me
No,
You
I
beat
how.
me last week, buddy. Pretty
No,
good.
No, not any. I understand that, but just like if my players don't fucking pop off, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, you're gonna lose, so you're probably going to
If
be
you just look at the lineups, Josh Allen versus nobody. I don't know. I'm guessing she's gonna start Browning or she's picking up a quarterback. She doesn't have anybody in there.
Hey, this is not your decision or thoughts to be thinking. All you have to know is be prepared. It's going to be a good game. Don't count her out because that's going to make her want to beat
Is
you
there any
more.
trades allowed right now or no? Trades done?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't allow that
Good.
unless it was to Cyprus.
Yeah, I'm trying to become. I haven't won this league since I got kicked out of commissioner. I'm
Since
coming back, baby.
your draft gate scandals.
Draft gate. This time I didn't have one.
Scandals, and both included me.
This one you can't say there was any scandals. This one, if I win, baby.
There were some scandals, but I understand.
There was a couple scandals, but that was in the franchise draft.
No, you did some scandals in this
Yeah,
one.
that league needs some rework.
But
A little bit of rework.
good luck to you guys, whoever are in. I wish you the best of luck. And
Well, boys, yeah, Justin, Justin, I want to salute you to this. You won one. You made it to the semifinals and another one. And then you made it to the finals, another one, right?
I did.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh, also, Chris, just so you know,
Yep.
I don't really care if I win the franchise one ever, but
Why?
we have to keep it in-house. Okay. Justin and I didn't really care if I beat Justin or not, as long as it's in-house.
You just want to
That's
keep it in the
in-house now.
pod.
Hey, in the pod, we're keeping it here.
I love
We're
that.
keeping it here.
And I can abide by that.
I was hoping, I didn't really care about the franchise one. Cool. I'm happy he won. I was hoping Jay would make this one because I knew I was making it here. I was fucking hoping Jay would make the championship.
Please.
Don't even don't even start with me.
I
Don't-
even let him switch somebody out because he didn't fucking change him before.
How did you do that?
He got called. What's Cooper?
What?
He reported as out following the game, like the day of the game, and I just didn't get I was doing stuff and I didn't change it. I didn't see it,
So-
didn't change it.
And so what? You lost because of that,
No, Chris helped me put somebody else in.
Chris?
Yeah.
How? Like his
Did you do
like
that?
manager.
I
powers?
texted him that I texted him
am
right.
the commissioner. Don't question how, my friend.
No,
It doesn't matter
He
how. I
texted
got
me.
approval from both parties, approved it, and we executed the drill. And it didn't matter because I would have
And you-
fucking lost either way.
you
I
still
did.
lost.
I played my best game, and I still
Cypress,
lost.
Cypress,
Okay.
I just want to let you know. I know you can hear me over there. You're done. You're good luck to your season. I'm so happy you become the first loser. I'm so happy that we can take home the championship. And if you end up winning, congratulations. Okay. Well deserved. You beat the best team in the league.
All that trash talk just
Deserved.
to end it with, well, congrats if you do beat me.
Well, you beat the best team in the league if you do win. Because that's
gosh.
me. I did have the best team in the league by far up to this point. You cannot debate that. Look at the numbers, baby. Look at the numbers. Who had the number 1 seed overall?
Yeah, that's called just maybe having the right matchup each week.
Who? Look at the fucking points for. Then I'll tell you.
I went undefeated until week 11, and that's when I finally lost.
Hey, it's not about how you start.
Juggernaut
about how you
team being the
start.
best of the
It's
best.
not about how you start. It's about how you finish, baby.
Great.
Cypress.
that?
Hopefully you
All right,
lose.
okay, good. Cypress, just let me know. I want you to take a look at Alex's roster, and then when the championship game is going, just let me know who you want me to put on his bench.
No, dude, I'm screenshotting that shit. Fucking yeah, fucking Spygate. Oh my gosh. Well, other than that, boys, if you have nothing else for the people of the world, you can follow us on the 3 Amoebas podcast on all socials. And you know what to do if you don't follow us and if you don't smash that subscribe button, go fuck yourself. Anything else, boys?
Nope.
See you next week.
Last week of the season. See you there, boys.
Bye.
Night.